Well, guys, I want to welcome you into the vault, the ETA vault. My name is Brad Collin. I am an Elvis tribute artist. I have been an Elvis tribute artist for many, many years, and I think now it's time for me to impart some of my experiences and some of my expertise to some of the younger, just starting out folks out there, or just random folks that want to save money. But I was born in Wyoming, and I became an Elvis tribute artist in 2001. And you have to forgive. I'm sorry, forgive the way I'm speaking. I'm trying to get used to my false teeth. I had to have all my teeth pulled, and it's just been a nightmare. They're making me some more, but and these things they don't want to stay in or nothing. It's and it's just been a horrible experience for me. I haven't had any luck with them at all. But anyway, getting back to my thing there, I was born and raised in Sheridan, Wyoming, and for a number of years growing up as a little kid, my mama, she played records just for me, Elvis's music and uh, everything else, and I really enjoyed his music and the way he sounded. And then, of course, years later, I figured out that I could do it and sound like him, and people say I resembled him quite a little bit, and so I decided that that's the way I wanted to go. I studied law enforcement for years, and when my wife finally got around to moving out to Las Vegas, got around to moving out to Las Vegas, I have a lot of history and a lot of stories that I could share with you. The earlier years, which I'm sure we probably will do that at some point in the situation, but not tonight when I'm not talking so good. But the fact of the matter is, what I'm trying to what I'm trying to do is share some of my experiences, some of the things that I have gone through, uh, and some of the downfalls and the shortcomings and the red tape that I've gone through the years, and try to give somebody a chance so they don't have to go through all that stuff. And I feel like with the knowledge that I have and everything in this industry, that I can help a lot of people out there. Uh, skip the horrible, the whole, the whole. Excuse me. The horrible things that I have experienced in my life. And see, look at there. I can talk with no teeth. Don't look so good, but I can talk with them. Without them, I should say. But it's just one thing, man. There's a lot of things in this world that come easy to some folks, and there's a lot of things that don't come easy to some others. And what I'm trying to do is just help a lot of folks out there that have any questions. There's ways to save money doing this thing. It's a whole lot of fun when you're able to, provide for yourself, support yourself, and still be able to, look great and do a great job on stage. And and then that's where I can help you, because I know how to save the money. I know what equipment to buy. I know the different ins and outs of the industry. Excuse me, and agents, and saving money, making things, doing things. Uh, Elvis had many, many, many pieces of wardrobe, and going through the different uh, eras of Elvis's music. Elvis, of course, did the '50s, where he was in the dress jackets, and pretty standard dress jackets, but he wore a lot of jewel tone uh, jackets, and you can find a lot of that stuff fairly cheap around here in Las Vegas. Now I'm telling you, there's a lot of folks out there, a lot of guys that come to Vegas to do this, and they just get wrapped up and they don't know what to do, and that was our situation too, man. I mean, we first moved here, we lived in our car, for Pete's sake, and at a truck stop, and it was 125 degrees when we moved to Vegas in March of 2007. And we used to drive into town every morning and try to find shade at Sunset Park. And that's where we stayed, man. I mean, we bathed in the bathrooms, in the showers. We had a lot of hard times. And I came here in 2007 for an audition for a TV program that was on ABC. You might remember it, called The Next Best Thing. Now, The Next Best Thing was basically there was many tribute artists that came out. There were Barbra Streisands, there were Dolly Partons, there were Buddy Hollys. As a matter of fact, one of my good friends, Jim Mann, he actually is a Buddy Holly tribute artist, and he was there at the same time I was. But of course, we didn't meet till like, I don't know, some years later. But he's always been a dear friend of mine, and he's one of the better Buddy Hollys out there. And I mean, he's had a lot of ins and outs and ups and downs with agents and doing things. But we've through the years we've done gigs together, we've done shows together. We've just had a wonderful time, and my life has been a blessing. It really has. I mean, for what I have done and what I can do and what I do, not so much now. I mean, I'm 52 years old. Don't get me wrong, I can still pull off a 22-year-old Elvis, 21-year-old Elvis. People say I have a young face. And of course, no teeth don't help, but what are you going to do? There's a lot of folks out there that, they get started, they get wrapped up in this thing, and then they don't know which way to go. They don't know which way's up and which way's down. And I'm just going to tell you straight out, if you come to Las Vegas and you're coming here to perform Elvis and do Elvis, and you're going to do a tribute and try to get in with the wedding chapels or an agent, try to get you some gigs or something like that, it's good to know where you're going and what you're doing and what you need to do when you get out here. And the first thing you need to do is develop a relationship with the wedding chapels. Try to get your foot in the door with them. That's where I started. And, when my audition went belly up, Jeffrey Ross is not a nice man, I'll just say that. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, I made a little scratch. I made a little money for being on TV, and it was fun, I mean, and I sang for them, and they liked it, They told me I had the voice, but it looked like I had eaten one too many peanut butter and banana sandwiches, and that my jumpsuit was over the top. Now, I will tell you, first and foremost, I am a stickler for authenticity. When it comes to Elvis's jumpsuit, I know it inside, outside, up one side, and down the other. I can tell you what studs are on that jumpsuit, and how many should be here, and it's something that I have always prided myself on. And here in the vault, we're going to go over all that stuff, all the different places that you can get the supplies and for relatively cheap. And there's things that there's things out there on the internet that people don't know. Now, don't get me wrong, when I first started out, none of this was out there, or at least I didn't know about it. And it was a matter of having to track all this stuff down. Now, and I made my first jumpsuit. Well, my wife made my first jumpsuit, and it was this cockamamie looking white jumpsuit with it had some kind of a lion. We came up with some kind of lion thing on it. Don't get me wrong, it looked good. It looked good, but it wasn't authentic by any stretch of the imagination. And it's not, it wasn't. It wasn't what I would be caught with now, wearing now. But there are just so many different things that you have to look at when you come. You have to look at wardrobe. You have to look at why you wear certain things and when you wear certain things. And if I never tell you anything else, always remember, if it's not right, it's wrong. That is one of the most important things that you can remember in this industry. And like I said, I strive for authenticity. My hair, my look. Now, don't get me wrong, there are little things that you can do. You can wear other sunglasses. These sunglasses that I have on, of course, I'm not trying to be Elvis right now, but these sunglasses that I have on actually right now are they're a replica of the sunglasses that Johnny Depp wore for court, and I just liked the way they look, so I bought them. But and they kind of ease the light a little bit on your eyes when you're inside, and they look pretty cool too. So I figured I'd rock them for this video. But there's a lot of places that you can get a lot of cheaper things. Now, when I say cheap, I don't mean cheaply made. Don't get me wrong. Everything that we're gonna go over in this video is quality. Everything that you need to be a good Elvis tribute artist and still save money, I can show you. I can teach you right here in the vault. Now, there's many, many things that I have learned over the years, and one of those things is that you have always got to be prepared. And when I say you've got to be prepared, I mean, back in the day when I started out in 2007, we were in the height of the wedding chapel wars, and that's a figurative situation, but I mean, there were owners that were sending guys out to sabotage other chapels during certain peak times of the weddings. And one of those things is specific. She sent somebody out there to sabotage somebody's air conditioning in Las Vegas in the heat of summer. I mean, that's just rancid, man. That's no way to do business. If you can't get business, I mean, and she was a multi-millionaire. She was doing gangbusters. This was a little wedding chapel called Garden of Love. Was the very first wedding chapel that I ever worked for in Las Vegas. And a gal by the name of Cheryl owned it with her mama. And when I started out there, now I'm not going to say that they did me wrong, because they didn't really do me wrong. They actually got me going and got me started pretty good. And a lot of the videographers and the photographers down there, they took really, really good care of me. They would take videos of every single one of my ceremonies, and they would take pictures of every single one of my ceremonies and give me copies, give me discs. And that's another thing you've got to have. You have got to build up a portfolio. Any pictures that you have taken that you like, that you think somebody else would like to look at, that really favors the Elvis resemblance, or of something you doing on stage, in one of your performances, embrace that. Embrace that, and keep that, always keep that close, and your songs, the things that you do. I mean, take 2 or 3 songs and 4 or 5 pictures, and type up a letter of some of the things that you've done. Now, of course, if you haven't done that much, you're going to have to get some things done, and that means you're going to have to get out there and you're going to have to bust your hump and start building yourself a reputation. Now, when you build yourself a reputation, one of the things that you have to remember is you are the only thing that can screw you up. And that is the most important thing in the situation of working for some of these places that you have to remember. And that means you're being on time. That means you're being punctual. It doesn't matter if the client's on time. You could sit down at a wedding chapel for an hour and wait for a couple, and it doesn't matter. If you're there when they come in, it just makes you look that so much better. And more than likely, if you do a good job and you got the voice down and you do what you need to do to make that couple happy, more than likely you're going to get a tip. And you strive for tips. I mean, don't get me wrong, you don't live on tips. You get paid for doing weddings. But some of these chapels, they like to pay between $50 and $100 for one wedding. Now, you can do a wedding and it can last 15 minutes, or you can be down there for 45 minutes, because by the time you do the ceremony, you do the singing, you do the pictures and everything else, and be ready and wait to get tipped, you could be at a wedding chapel for an hour. And if you have 2 or 3 wedding chapels that you work for, and this is another thing that I don't recommend, is being exclusive. Unless one chapel is keeping you so busy and you're making such good money that you don't have to worry about working for anybody else and doing any other weddings or any other gigs. I mean, you can just squeeze in, if you have a gig, like say you have 3 weddings one day at a wedding chapel, and then you have another gig at like 3 o'clock, and your weddings are your weddings are scheduled to start at 11 o'clock. And what I say, 3 o'clock? Okay, 3 o'clock. So 3 o'clock, you have to be at your gig. Now keep this in mind too. This is important as well, and that is, if you are here in Las Vegas, well, no matter where you are, it's important to be on time, but you have to take into consideration when you're in Las Vegas, your parking, you might have to pay to park now. Things have totally changed around here. Not so much for the better all the time, but if you are paying to park, then you have to have a ticket. You're going to have to validate that ticket. You're going to have to walk to the venue. It's inside the chapel, in a casino, or if it is somewhere else in the casino. It takes a long time to get from point A to point B. And so always give yourself ample time to walk, to be where you're supposed to be. Because it's important that you stay punctual. It doesn't matter, like I said, if the couple's on time or not. If the couple's on time, that's wonderful. That makes your life that much more easy. And you always find out what they want you to wear. If they might want you to wear a jumpsuit, the more popular jumpsuits are the Aloha from Hawaii jumpsuits. A lot of folks, they want you to wear the white jumpsuit. They'll say, you have that white one? That white one Elvis wore? Well, yes, and when they say that, what they're actually saying is the Aloha from Hawaii jumpsuit. That is the white one. Everybody calls it the white one, but that is the jumpsuit that everybody wants. And that will set you back, a really good one, about $1,500. Now you need to have that, and you need to have a gold lame jacket. You don't just lump yourself into one era. That is where you'll cut your money right there. Because if you get a gig and you are scheduled to do that gig, and somebody says they want you in a white jumpsuit, well, that's the jumpsuit that you need to be in. And if you don't have it, they're going to find somebody else that does, because that is important to them. So, always remember that. And, man, I got so much more information. I could talk for hours. I really could. But this being my first video, I'm going to kind of talk to you a little bit now about some different things that, you know, we're going to go over. And, you know, we're going to go over some equipment. We're going to go over just studying and being the best Elvis tribute artist that you can be right here in the ETA Vault. I started this to help people, to help all these Elvis tribute artists that are out here that, you know, like I said, that they don't know a whole lot. You know, there's certain kinds of things you look for when you buy a wig. There's certain things that you can do to make yourself look better. You know, there's cosmetic things for your teeth, eyes. It's all right here, baby. And I got you. But please like and subscribe. Like I said, this is my first video. I'm just getting started. This is exciting for me. I'm excited, and I hope you are too. Thank you so much for watching. If you stuck around to the end of this video, like, subscribe, of course, hit that notification bell, and leave me a comment. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. And I live for this, man. I really do. This is really all I have going in my life, except for my book, my children's book that's coming out this Christmas, which I'm very, very excited about, called The Sleepies, which I'm dedicating to my grandson, Draco. But other than that, man, Elvis has been my life. Elvis has been my life, and Elvis has been unbelievably generous to me. And I speak about Elvis like he's still here, and like I knew him, and like I met him. But I feel like I did. And I had a dream that I'll tell you about sometime. It was the most incredible thing I ever experienced in my life. But that's for another time. But right now I'm signing off, and I want you guys to always remember that I got your best interests at heart. I want you to succeed. I want you to be the best Elvis tribute artist or character portrayal, because I have done them all. You know, Tony Stark, Iron Man, The Grinch, Jack Sparrow, you name it, man, and I've done it. And I've been out there in the trenches doing the photos for tips, and, you know, we'll get all into that in another video. But right now, I want to wish you guys the best. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you again real soon. Thank you very much.